Welcome back to Mastering Podcast and Video Interviews from Geek to Guru. I'm your host, Kurt Sasso. In this episode, we're diving into the critical topic of preparing for interviews. Whether you're a guest getting ready to shine on a show or a host gearing up to have an engaging conversation, we've got you covered. How guests can prepare to be on your show. Let's start with how guests can prepare to be on your show. It's essential for them to understand the format and vibe of your podcast or video interview. Think about a show like Michael Rosenbaum's Inside You podcast. His guests know that they'll dive deep into personal stories and experiences, so they have to prepare accordingly. Same goes for Two Geeks Talking, where it's like inside the actor's studio but more introspective in nature. As a guest, here are 5 things you should do to get ready for a show. Familiarize yourself with the show. Listen to a few episodes to get a sense of the host's style and the topics covered. For instance, if you're invited to Tim Ferriss's show, knowing his perchance for in-depth discussions will help you prepare more effectively. Imagine you're a guest on Conan O'Brien's Need a Friend show. Conan's format often includes humor and storytelling, so come prepared with your funniest anecdotes and personal stories. Craft your narrative. Think about the key points you want to convey during the interview. Consider the central message you want to get across and prepare anecdotes that illustrate your points. If you're a guest on Brené Brown's Unlocking Us, where vulnerability is celebrated, prepare to share personal stories that resonate with her message of courage and authenticity. Anticipate questions. Based on your research about the host, anticipate types of questions you might be asked. For instance, if you're on Oprah's Super Soul Conversations, you can expect deep soul-searching questions. If you're invited to Howard Stern's show, prepare for candid and often provocative questions. Be ready to navigate the unexpected with humor and honesty. How to research about guests as a host. Now let's switch gears and talk about how hosts can research their guests. Take a cue from Sean Evans' Hot Ones, whose extensive research on his guests is a hallmark of his show. That and the spicy wing. But he has really great research as well into his guests. Dive deep. Begin with a deep dive into your guest's background. Read their books, articles, or past interviews, and any other works that they've done, including their social media. This familiarity will allow you to ask insightful questions. If you're hosting a scientist like Neil deGrasse Tyson, dive into their research papers and latest discoveries to craft questions that showcase their expertise. Listen to past interviews. Check out interviews that your guest has done in the past. This will help you avoid asking repetitive questions and instead dive into fresh, engaging territory. Maybe you'll revisit a question that was done, say, 10 years ago that might draw a different answer than what they answered 10 years ago. If you're interviewing a musician like Taylor Swift or Biff Naked, listen to their previous interviews and find a unique angle that hasn't been explored extensively. Identify key points. Identify the key points and unique aspects of your guest's story or expertise. Consider what sets them apart and focus your questions on those aspects. For example, if you're interviewing Gary Vaynerchuk, who is known for his social media marketing and his media empire, as well as his candid conversations and amazing seminars, look at what he's done in the past, look at his current talks that he's given on the state of social media, and form your questions around that. Top 5 strategies for building relationships with guests and interviewees. Building relationships with guests or interviewees is not only beneficial for a single episode, but it can also lead to long-lasting connections and collaborations. Here are the top 5 strategies. Genuine interest. Show genuine interest in your guest's work and journey. When you're curious and enthusiastic, it's contagious, and they'll appreciate your sincerity. Hosting an author, express your admiration for their storytelling and dive into the creative process behind their iconic characters. Following up. After the interview, follow up with a thank you note or message. Share the episode when it's live and continue to engage with their content. If you've interviewed a thought leader, send them a thoughtful message highlighting the impact of their ideas and share any relevant updates from your end. Collaborate. Look for opportunities to collaborate beyond the interview. Whether it's co-hosting an event or working together on a project, collaboration strengthens your bonds. If you've interviewed a game developer, explore the possibility of showcasing a demonstration of their game or streaming collaboration for the game and showcase it to your audience. Networking. Introduce your guests to others in your network who might be of interest to them. This generosity can go a long way in building a strong relationship. If your guest is a tech innovator, connect them with experts in their field to foster knowledge exchanges and potential collaborations. Stay in touch. Keep the lines of communication open. Don't just stop at the interview itself. Drop them a message on birthdays or important milestones and check in on them periodically and see how they're doing. Be friendly. If your guest is a musician, send a congratulatory message when they release a new song or achieve a significant milestone to maintain a positive connection. And there you have it, a guide to preparing for interviews, whether you're a guest or a host. Remember, preparation is the key to a successful and engaging conversation. Thanks for tuning in to Mastering Podcast and Video Interviews from Geek to Guru. We'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for joining, and until next time, keep those conversations flowing. Did you enjoy this video? Give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and make sure to subscribe for more insightful content. And as always, stay tuned on Two Geeks Talking.